The writing is on the wall. Check this out. The unexpected is about to send several major economies crashing. They can't stop it. Countdown to chaos. The world is not ready as the unfathomable looms. Nightmare is coming. This just crashed 50%, and it's only the beginning. But more importantly, Bank of America B of A's urgent warning to all customers. Now check this out.
This is urgent. I'm your host, Steve Van Meter, and thanks for joining me today. And our lead story today, it's Bank of America's urgent warning. And we're going to show you why Bank of America is so concerned, because this is something that's not just going to affect all of its customers, but millions of Americans. And we'll show you just what you need to do to position yourself.
Oh shit, you got to position yourself, otherwise Bank of America's going to come. But nah, for real, seriously. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. You've got me, Kevin, and you're watching Kevin 247. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out the links down below. Subscribe to my secondary channels because I feel like this channel is probably going to get deleted soon, and they don't want me to share this with you. But this is the truth. Now, we're going to jump back into Bank of America's urgent warning to all customers video, but I got something even more important to show you because this is a really, really big problem, and it's not isolated to just Bank of America. It could happen to your bank. Comment down below. Let me know what bank you got. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, PNC, Truist, Renaissance. Let me know. But check this out. Check this out.
At 7:14, criminals are evolving and finding more sophisticated ways to steal your money.
Criminals are evolving and finding more sophisticated ways to steal our money, steal your money. And the crazy part about it is that we're also consistently on keeping your head on a swivel, basically, because you don't know if the criminals are here trying to steal your money from the bank, or if the criminals are coming up from the southern border, or if the criminals are coming in from China, or if the criminals are already here. It's crazy, y'all.
Super skimmers are now being used, and they're pretty hard to detect.
Yeah, Boston 25 News consumer reporter Jason Law explains why you could be at risk even with the chip card.
And the chip card was supposed to be the end-all be-all to protect consumers from their credit card information being stolen, even with the near-field communications and the RFIDs. But as I said before, diversity, security, and cash flow, well, this is the security portion of this, folks, and we're going to have to diversify how we go about conducting business. And you know, cash isn't necessarily the preferred method, even though, in my opinion, cash is still king. And yeah, I need to follow up with you guys on the bankruptcy, but we'll get to that later.
And what you can do to protect yourself.
Scammers are everywhere, and they're getting more advanced. Surveillance video shows the sophisticated new devices used by criminals. It's called a shimmer. In November, thieves targeted 3 ATMs in Washington state. We sped up this video so you can see the criminal act that was completed in about 1 minute.
I feel like they could have probably done a much better job if they would have just drove up to the ATM instead of walking up and automatically looking suspicious, but that's just me.
It was a shock.
Elaine says she was a victim after a stop at the ATM. Her information was stolen and $1,000 vanished from her account.
I really have thought a
See, that's why I don't keep money in my bank account.
lot about the idea that somebody had my information.
Shimming is much harder to detect.
Robert Siciliano is a cybersecurity consultant in Boston and CEO of ProtectNowLLC.com. He says shimming is much different than traditional skimming, which relies on a bulky overlay device that we've shown you before. Siciliano says the difference with shimming is that the device is installed inside the ATM. Most businesses aren't even aware they've been hit until it's too late.
How much you want to bet that these people who have created these devices already have some sort of tie and connection to the ATM business and the banking industry? Like, you don't get this insider knowledge and intel on how to create this tech and adapt it to code and communicate with these ATMs to steal people's money without it being an inside job.
Once the shimming device is installed, it's much harder for not only the consumer to recognize that there's an issue, but for the bank themselves to even know that their devices have been compromised.
This is just going to lead people, think about it, to no longer using ATMs and no longer using cash. Yeah, sure, you could inconvenience yourself and go inside of the bank branch to conduct your business and transactions, but those opportunities are being eliminated with not only the reduction of overall in-person tellers and job layoffs and terminations and companies, banks just wiping people out, but also from the fact that the sheer number of brick and mortar banks are disappearing left and right.
We wanted to show you exactly what to look for. Chris Hansen with the U.S. Secret Service says the scammers used a slim piece of metal, like this one, inside those ATMs.
With the newer technology, of course, the components can be smaller and smaller.
Criminals harvest the stolen data, print fake debit cards, and then go on a spree at ATMs.
So this is what we call white plastic, and you can encode the data onto this stripe.
And investigators say the thieves often use a tiny camera to steal your PIN number.
Yo, these jokers, they don't play. They don't play. They're using technology. They're using AI. They're using all of this to their advantage to steal your money.
And so you can see the pinhole right here.
Many banks are trying to stay one step ahead of the scammers.
Now, today is Thursday. Go check your bank account because tomorrow's Friday, and typically Friday is payday. And you're going to want to make sure that your money is actually going to be in your account, all of it, not just your paycheck, but what should be in your account now. Hopefully there's some money in there. I mean, we all know the headlines, the stats, the numbers. Most people don't have any money in savings, probably very little in checking, but I would still make sure that whatever I've got to the penny is there and nobody has access to your account.
The Washington State Credit Union, hit by shimmers last year, now uses high-tech fraud detection software to catch unusual transactions.
That raises a red flag.
The credit union blocked those accounts, and they're working with ATM manufacturers to...
So the credit unions, I don't know about the credit unions. Banks versus credit unions is always a debate, but I can tell you that most of these banks, specifically Chase Bank, Citibank, Wells Fargo Bank, hell, even Bank of America. You guys remember last year when the Bank of America got hit with that Zelle fraud deal? They do not want to reimburse you for any stolen funds or lost money, especially if it's because your card was used, your chip was read, and your PIN was entered. They do not care about skimmers or shimmers or whatever these devices are or will be called in the future, because they're gonna treat it as if you conducted that transaction. And if you did and you're just trying to get free money from the bank, they can't just keep handing that over. So this is ultimately going to fast forward the process of the chip inserted in your hand, possibly mark of the beast system.
More fraud.
They now are working to find a solution to retrofit machines to address this latest technology. I don't want people to feel, frightened to use an ATM, and certainly not at a financial institution. This is rare.
But Elaine says this experience has her thinking twice about using her debit card.
Yes, it is unnerving.
Our cybersecurity expert recommends you pay close attention to your debit or credit card activity. Set up a mobile alert on your phone so anytime there's activity with your account, you'll know right away. And above all else, if you have the option, tap your card instead of inserting or swiping it in the machine. That's the one sure way of avoiding the shimming trap. I'm Jason Law for your local station, Boston 25 News.
All right, so the key with that is it's the one way to avoid the shimming trap. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, they already have the tech out there to steal your information from your credit card, from your bank card, your debit card, your check card at the ATM from tapping, okay? But this is just more of a reason why we all need to be alert, aware, and prepared for what has already been warned as the quantum security threat and data breach. Link down below in the description. Get your quantum security guide. Make sure you guys are in the know. Smash that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.